let's do a show. Cool.
Every day, take it as it comes. On my own, help myself. There's no one else. On my own. Can you take it over? Can you take it over now? Can you take it over? Can you take it over now? Make mistakes, it's often played. You come what may. On my own. Every day, I take it as it comes. On my own. Can you take it over? Can you take it over now? Can you take it over? Can you take it over? Can you take it over? Can you take it over now? Come what may, come what may. On my own. Can you take it over? Can you take it over now? Can you take it over? Can you take it over now? Take it over now. Take it over
Ian, welcome to Anywhere the Needle Drops. How's it going?
It's very good. It's going well.
Awesome. Well, listen, so we just heard that song, and so were all of those instruments you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
All right. So, I mean, I've heard the term multi-instrumentalist. I've read it, but you're really, bringing it to a certain level. What is that like when you're writing music? When you're laying down every single instrument? How do you come up with that?
Yeah, I if I'm playing guitar or playing bass and trying to find a melody or something, I also hear the drums, or hear another guitar idea. I have the privilege of I learned stringed instruments and taught myself how to play. And my dad was a drummer, so there were drums in the house,
Yeah.
and I got lucky.
So when you're recording, is it always that way, or do you sometimes hand off the duties to other musicians?
Well, I personally, when I record at the house, I have a studio in the basement and loads of demos. I have good amount of friends that have been joining. They've joined me on reggae stuff, some psychedelic rock stuff,
Yeah.
folk rock, everything. So from trombones to keys, a fiddle player out of Florida who's also an incredible whistle player. And now we're lucky we can send files and, share music, and I don't have to hang out with them. I don't have to capture it if we're together in one place.
Sure.
We can be all over. So
Yeah, the magic of the internet right there.
there we go.
So, you mentioned it a little bit right there. So let's dive into that. I've spent the last couple of days digging into your catalog a little bit, and you have so much variety. I mean, there's rock and roll, there's folk, Americana, roots, whatever you want to call it. There's Celtic music, there's reggae, there's ska. I mean,
Yeah.
you kind of I don't know that you cross genre boundaries as much as you're just smashing them to pieces. So, what is it that attracts you to all these different sounds?
I was born in Ireland, so the Celtic music, fiddle, mandolin, Celtic melodies, and the stories and writing lyrics. That's inspired from one place in my life growing up. But reggae music, Jamaican music, rock and roll, it's all connected in some way. And even if sometimes I don't realize, but I joke that I only play music from the islands. So it's Ireland and Jamaica. I'll play American music as well.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I love it. So I'll write some lyrics in a folky manner, real straight ahead, kind of, Dylan or something. And then it'll turn into a reggae song because the rhythm or the melody worked better with a boom chuck, one drop, Jamaican stuff, So all my songs change. I also re-record songs in a different way.
Okay.
See if it happens, and so you can play with it.
So you might have a rock and roll Kian Byrne song, and then you might drop it to the reggae band and see what they can do with it.
Right.
What you guys can do with it.
Yeah. I wrote a song called "Sing That Song." It was on my first solo album, and I wanted to record an album that was just as a drummer and everything, and multi-instrumentalist. I wanted to be better at guitar and sing better and be more percussive with less. So I did that first album of I had a ukulele bass, but I did like a shaker, an acoustic guitar, and vocals. Sing That Song's very folky, straight ahead, kind of a folk pop song. But my sister is in the film industry and makes music videos. So I re-recorded it, and I'm going to send that to her, and it's going to be kind of a 80s dance pop version.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
I mean, that shows you where it can go.
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, obviously in the recording room, you can handle all those different responsibilities. But when you take these songs out to the stage, when you're playing them live, how do you decide what you're going to play versus what you're going to put together a band to play? If it's your solo work, I mean,
Right.
obviously there are roles for the actual bands.
Yep.
But,
Yeah. Elders. I have a band, New Rhythm, a reggae band. I played drums in a country band called Grizzly Hand. So obviously they have all their set lists. I have songs in each group that were songs that I wrote that sometimes I'll step away from behind the kit and grab an acoustic guitar or grab a mandolin. And so I'm excited to do those. But when I'm playing solo, I have a personal struggle of like, I have all these songs that I would love to play, and which ones can I portray with an acoustic guitar?
Sure.
I have a stomp box that's kind of like a kick drum, and so and then I have all these pedals, and then I practice at home with turn the amp up and throw some pedals, and then I end up going to the gig with my acoustic guitar and singing and just getting through 20 original tunes, and it ends up being just as magical.
Sure.
When I don't overthink. It's great to write all the time. I have a lot of songs that I write, and so it's exciting to get to play them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
So let's talk about the Elders for a moment, because that's a band that's been around for quite a while, and
Yep.
there's a family tie there? Is that correct?
Yeah, I play drums in the Elders.
Okay.
My dad is the lead singer.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and Norm, the bass player, started the band originally, um, and he's like my second dad. So we've got the whole thing. It's definitely a family band. My wife's the band manager and keeps us all in line. My mom, who is in the TV industry in Kansas City, she is also the merch girl for the band.
Nice.
So I mean, it's down to a family team.
Yeah. So you mentioned something about television there, which makes me think of something I read about you, which was either, I don't know if it was you individually or maybe it was as a part of the Elders, but you are the recipient of a Telly Award.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I've got one for a music video.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's interesting. You're in good company. So we have a part of the family here, On Base Productions. They are also a multiple Telly Award winner. So when I saw
Awesome.
that name there, I thought, oh, that's so great. What are the chances?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Creators everywhere.
Privilege.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's awesome.
So you mentioned a sister also, and it sounds like you mentioned your dad, siblings. So music seems like it's in your family. Is there anyone in
is.
your family that doesn't play music?
No. Two sisters. They're both in the film industry. One's a film buyer. One is a producer, and she stars in the films that she writes, and she's wild.
Yeah.
But they play violin and piano. They Irish dance, years ago.
Yeah.
My mom is a piano player and accordion, and she's Irish dance years ago, and so yeah, and guitar player. The music's in the family.
Yeah.
It's definitely there. Yeah, my dad in Ireland originally. Right before I was born, he was in a band called Regent Street. They were on Vixen Records and touring and playing cool shows, and it was a three-piece, like, kind of reggae. There was reggae elements,
Yeah.
but it was a rock and roll. It was like the Police. So, that's where I get a lot of... That's the reggae rock and roll thing. It was already in me
Sure.
to begin with. So.
Yeah, build right into you. In the DNA, it sounds like. So do you ever get over to Ireland to play the Elders music or any of your own music?
Yep. We've gone, I think, about 20 years now, the Elders. I've myself have the privilege, I think it's maybe 13th or 14th year in a row, we tour Ireland. We bring roughly 100 to 150 people every year around the States and Canada. They pay to basically follow us on tour. And they're in the big coach buses.
Yeah.
It gets up to like 4 coach buses going through these small towns.
Got a whole entourage there, all right.
We show up and the gig is free to the public, open to the public. Plus we bring 100+ people.
Yeah.
And now it's a privilege for the band, the Elders, to have a packed house, in another country, especially Ireland, where the music that we all love came from. And then we have the room full of people singing our lyrics and dancing, and they all have their little lanyards, and they have a great time. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a whole family of people.
Yeah, you got like
loads of people that have gone on 10 years plus every year.
These people following you around all these years on this tour or on
Beautiful
these tours?
friends from Colorado and Syracuse and Arizona, all over the States. And then Canadian friends. We have some friends from Wales that would fly to Ireland.
Yeah.
All over the place would come to Ireland and meet us. And, my dad being from Ireland originally, old friends and old fans of his old bands, they would see the Elders coming down. They would come and visit him. So
That's
pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
So you've got these various bands and collaborations that you're in. You've got your solo work. So either or both in the studio and when you're out and about playing. What is the mindset you have to get yourself into for one versus the other, for playing on your own versus doing the band thing?
Yeah, playing on my own. Well, when I would see someone play up there, if you're at a restaurant and you see somebody playing in the corner, could potentially be the most nerve-wracking thing that person could be doing. It's hard to stand there and sing your own songs, let alone sing cover songs and entertain solo wise, you know. With the band, you have a sense of confidence, and I'm the drummer in one of the bands, and then I've got 5 other people that like all do things before me, so I can, you know, nestle in and become a team player.
Kind of blend into the crowd a little bit,
you know,
there.
and you know, it's not terrible when the leadership changes and that's the band, you know. But then when I'm by myself, it's you know, you can get in your head, but you're performing. So I love it. I love playing. You know,
Yeah.
you'll have moments where, oh gosh, I'm pulling up to the gig and don't know what's gonna happen, and it's a Thursday night somewhere, and it ends up being, you know, magic. There's a bunch of people that are incredibly appreciative, and so it's great.
Yeah, it seems like a solo act, being a solo act, is probably somewhat similar to maybe being like a stand-up comedian, where it's all on you. There's no one else to take that
Yeah.
heat or the love if it comes, which is great. But sometimes there's no love, and so yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta be up there. It's brave. It's brave what you do.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I really love it. I every day think what else I could be doing, and I'm like, I just want to do this, you know.
Yeah.
So I just figure out, you know, some days it's easier, some days it's harder, but it's, you know, the people have passion. You can call it music. To me is definitely me, you know. So
Yeah.
it's whatever you want to call it.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because I'm a big proponent. One thing we're always saying on this show is, in fact, we even jokingly talked about making it a T-shirt, but give musicians your money. And the philosophy being, you know, if you want great art, you have to support it. So whether it be from, you know, fans or the industry or somewhere else, what is it that you foresee that musicians could really use as a support system, or just, you know, other things that you need to succeed in what you're doing?
Yeah, I think as a support system everywhere, like say a solo artist everywhere, you can get taken advantage of. You know, $150 or $200 to play your own songs for 45 minutes in the corner sounds awesome. You know, quick money, play your tunes, and it's, you know, practice and get better. And you know, some clubs aren't pro musician, you know, so it's really, when you find great places, communities that do support the arts, that's incredible. So the musicians, you know, like the musicians, a group, a coalition of team, you know, if you have the HR of music, you know, my wife, she is the HR of music.
Yeah.
She manages our band, so yeah, that, you know, you need an element of that.
Yeah.
So
For lack of a better term, what is is there even like a scene in Kansas City? What's it like down there as a musician?
yeah, Kansas City's crazy, and it has been forever, you know, music wise. I have a lot of really incredible jazz friends, jazz musicians, and that is the base of Kansas City. Then again, I turn around, all my jazz players play with all my country friends, you know, and there's a friend of mine just said that there's 10 new country bands in Kansas City right now. And that's pretty true.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of great psychedelic rock bands. There's lots of great solo artists, great friends of mine that, you know, it's so fun to book a gig and I get a call. I'll call 10 of them because they're all busy, and whichever ones are available will play a gig.
Sure.
So, there's a lot of great musicians in Kansas City.
I imagine it's similar to what we see here, where, you know, on Friday night you might go see this band over here, and then Saturday night you go to a different venue, completely different band, and the opener is this other band, but one member from the band from last night is in that band. You know, like everyone's
Absolutely.
sharing, and yeah,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. I have a lot of those crossover friends that are in, you know, I find myself in that position
Sure.
sometimes too. So.
yeah, yeah. All right, so you're here hanging out with us in Niles, Michigan. You know, you played a little music for us. So what are we looking at for the future? What's next up for you?
Yeah, we've got some Elders shows coming up, playing a cool hometown Kansas City show. Some friends of ours from Ireland, the High Kings, and it's in the Kaufman Performing Arts Center. So massive, beautiful, acoustic, you know, majestic piece of art that we put I think 900 or so people in there in our bands, and
Yeah.
I don't hit the cymbals too hard, otherwise my dad will turn around and look at me. But we've got a bunch of great gigs,
Yeah.
bunch of great shows. So I've got some solo stuff coming up. I always want to release more music.
Mhm.
I have a lot of demos that I do home studio type stuff and lo-fi recordings of things, and it's not that big production, but also a lot of my stuff doesn't need big production. The sound that I'm going for, I find it at home. So I'll be releasing music as much as I can.
Cool.
So
How do you know what goes together? How are you? Is it just okay? You have enough songs that have a similar sound, cram them together. You have an album, or do you go for a theme?
Possibly both. My titles of the songs and the style all play a part, but I also, I like to, if it's like a psych rock and roll or a rock and roll album, and then drop it down to an acoustic song that I recorded 2 years ago that kind of maybe in my storyline in my head it possibly fits, so yeah, it's all over the place, and then I'm moving things over and okay, maybe this is 2 albums, so let's do that,
Sure.
So you never know.
Yeah.
I also love the idea of singles,
Yeah.
I love the idea of singles for the elders because you can, that's, the Beatles did it. Do what the Beatles did.
Sure. Yeah. never a bad rule.
Right.
And it is one of those things where it's like a cycle. I mean, the album became a thing. I love the album as a format, but that became a thing the way the industry went. But yeah, I mean, it's not a rule. You don't have to necessarily do it. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to go where the music takes you, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do what you feel. Do what you think's right.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I look forward to hearing whichever of those albums you choose to release first. Or maybe you'll do, I don't know. I mean, again, there are no rules. You could release all 3 at the same time. Who knows? So,
I know.
yeah. All right. Well, Kian Byrne, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming to Niles, Michigan.
Thank you.
And good luck with everything.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Great. That was cool.
I like that one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
It's all good. Yeah. I can't believe
build.
I can't believe you're remembering little parts and pieces of that.